Hi everybody, this is Felicia, and I decided I'd get on here because I had a request to see some of my old Week in a Life albums. I'm going to be doing Ali Edwards' Week in a Life album again this year. This will be my 7th year because I've been doing it since 2010, and I can start with the oldest binder here if you can see that. This is a 8.5 by 11, and this is how we all started out doing the Week in a Life with her. So I can show you kind of a flip through really quick of one of the older albums. The thing about doing the Week in a Life, and the best way to do the Week in a Life, is to have everything set up either in a basket already by envelope. I used to do mine's in like a file folder, but I don't do that anymore. What I do now is I just set it up in the albums, because the albums are a lot smaller now because they're 6x8s now. So what I would do is I'd set each day up, and then I would collect things in those file folders over time, over the the day, of the course of the day, and I would just slide it in there, and I just take pictures. I would focus on taking pictures. So if you preset your album, it'll help you be able to focus on the pictures. Now this is kind of like going way back to kind of like an old school way. I actually printed the pictures on the cardstock. So this is a printed photo on the cardstock. And so, and then keep a running little book. I use a small little moleskin notebook. It's a little tiny one. And you keep a running, let's say, what you do every day. You just jot it down. Now, Ali does it now where she uses her blog, which is awesome. You can do that as well. Just record every day on the blog what you did. On here is where you can see where I have recorded on this. I recorded in a moleskin book, and then I typed it up and I put it all on here. What I did, I woke up at 8 a.m. And excited. I got dressed, had some Tazo black tea, just things like that. And I mean, you don't have to go as far as I have in depth, but that's what I did. And then on the back, because I was in South Lake Tahoe when the Week in a Life began for me, and I had here, as you can see, some paraphernalia that I saved. And this is what I mean. If you have a folder system, like a file system set up, everything that you're going to use to do the Week in a Life, you should have it set up in a basket. And so I'm going to do a quick flip through of some photos here. These are some photos that I cut, and I kind of put them on like a grid type of deal thing. And I had so much fun doing this way. I mean, it was awesome. As you can see here, I'll just kind of zoom in a little bit there so you can kind of get a closer look. But these are things that, this is what I did when I was doing the Week in the Life. And I had a great time doing that. So it's something that you just want to make sure, that if you dedicated to doing a Week in Life, get everything set up in a basket or a box and label your folders, just simple, or dividers. Or if you're doing, if you're doing it Sunday through Saturday or Monday through Sunday, it doesn't really matter how you do it. It's kind of how you want. So this is kind of like a flip through of how we did. So these first few pages is just one day, and I mean, these are all the photos I took in the one day. And then the second day, of course, we were still in South Lake Tahoe because we went for the whole 4-day weekend, which we left on a Friday. And we didn't leave till Monday, but this is still part of it here. So we had a great time. And then, of course, Tuesday, I'm back at work sitting at my desk here. So this is back in 2010. And kind of like, and I have so many memories with this. I mean, look at American Idol. I mean, I had pictures when I was watching American Idol. I had food that I've eaten in that week, and receipts and packaging and things like that. And that's how I did it. So Week in a Life started out with, it just started out with me just having fun with it, and I continued to have fun with it. I even have my old school planner. This is an old school Franklin Covey planner back in 2010. I mean, it was just amazing. I look back on this and I'm like, wow. And as you can see, it's just random pictures of the things that go on in the week in my life. This one I actually posed for. So it's just really interesting on how you can, these things have come along, and I don't even own these boots anymore. That's how far back we go. But, you know, and I've collected receipts and little things. And in this case here, I think we went to a fair housing training, and it shows here in Woodland, where it's another city over from where I was working. I mean, and then I have coworkers in here. And then I had the certificate of attendance when I went there. I just put it in there. Employee performance evaluation that went on that week. I mean, the things I did. My daughter here with my grandson when he was not even 2 yet, and my daughter was pregnant with my, in this one, she was pregnant with my granddaughter here in 2010. She wasn't born until May of 2010. But yeah, this is just stuff. This is all the bubble gum I decided to keep the comics. So it kind of made it was so much fun. And I'll be honest with you, doing Week in the Life, that I just kept doing it. And, you know, and then here's a portrait of the family. I had them pose just for the cover of this. And I just want to get back to doing that. I mean, I want to make sure that I still continue to have the fun. And I just love this photo. And I'm going to scrap this photo. I never scrapped this photo, but this photo tells a story. And it says above, David is being carried by Auntie Keela, and he is done for the day. He was cranky, he was whining, so she put him on her back and started, this is my youngest daughter, carrying her nephew. I mean, these are the stories that, and that's why I put up here, I love this shot, because it was a perfect shot. It was hilarious. So these are the things that, you know, that this is how I did my Week in the Life. And then this is the end. I put the end here, and this is the last day of the Week in the Life. And so, I mean, it was fun doing this. I had such a great time, and it's such a fat little folder. And this was 8.5 by 11. And then I did the next year, because I had so much fun, but I got a little bit more sophisticated with this one. So this one is, I actually printed everything on photo paper because I had gotten a better printer. And so the Week in the Life began the week that we went to, I think my husband and I went to Bodega Bay, 2011. And so this is a picture of the Bodega Bay beach, and what I did with this is I did this on Photoshop. And so I put the title up here, Week in the Life 2011, The Youngs, you know. And then I also did all of this, like it was a template that Allie had offered. And I still actually have that template. So, and where you can take the picture and you move it over onto the template that she had for the Photoshop. And that's what I did this year. This year, I actually got really sophisticated. And then I left little notes here on the side and what I was doing and what was Monday all about. And like, once again, I saved a lot of paraphernalia, receipts and things. And I had, you know, I think she was offering, like, I can't remember exactly, but like a little tiny little kit then. And so that's where this flare badge came from. And so, and you know, things like that. So this is the year also when my son had enlisted into the military, and that was his battle book and everything. And I was a little bit nervous about that, but you know, and in this case, you can see I don't have very many photos for this week because the photos actually speak for itself. And then and this is my mom and dad. And so, and then, you know, just the things like this. And then the template made it easier to type everything. 6:30 a.m. Let me see if I can take that out because there's a glare here. So, and it says, 6:30 a.m. This is what David and Faith look like in the morning. Don't they look happy? You know, and then it had different sections, and this was the template. So each one of these little squares was already a set template, and then that's how I put it on. And then I printed it out on an 8.5 by 11 photo paper there from my printer. Now I did a combination if I had more photos because it was very expensive as ink at that time, where I actually just printed some photos from just printed photos, and then I just put them in here. And as you can see, the scrap room madness, you know, eating dinner at the table and stuff like that. This is my daughter. She was at her job. She was a chef then. And so if you look closely, and I can kind of show you how it's done, because I couldn't find the photo, but if you look closely on this photo, I had preset everything up for the Week in the Life. I went through my scrap room, and this is what I encourage people to do. Gather up all kinds of stuff from your stash to help you do the Week in the Life. Because this stuff wasn't in a kit, and Allie didn't always have a kit for this. So I just gathered up a bunch of my stuff in my stash. I got my page protectors and everything, and and some file folders, and I just stewed them here in this basket. And that's how I've always done Week in the Life. And it makes it so much easier. So when you go to sit down and put your photos, and then you put your embellishments or whatever with your photos, because you definitely want to make sure that week you're telling the story. And this is what I've encouraged somebody else before, is tell the story. Don't worry so much about the embellishments. Just tell the story. You know, whatever you have in your basket, you don't have to stick to what you have in your basket, but, you know, just tell the story, and then the rest will work for itself. I mean, this is just straight pattern paper here. I didn't even have any photos to put here, but I start Tuesday out with my son, and this was a blown up picture of him stuffing his face. We took him out for his birthday and everything, and and he had his favorite pasta dish, and you know, he turned 18 or 19 here in this photo. So, but yeah, so just different things, and you know, I have different things that I've done. I have even things I've done at work, and today, you know, the list and stuff, and here's a smaller photo of my son eating his food, and you know, and then here's a bigger photo of me. This is all printed. The big ones are printed on photo paper. This is me at work. These are little bitty pictures here and there, and the times that I did. And I didn't do every exact time. And one thing I liked about this template is I was able to go into Photoshop and type directly onto the photos and stuff, some of them. So it worked out really good. And I have some embellishments throughout, just a few, you know. It's just been, you know, those days. It's my granddaughter and my grandson. And then once again, I have a blank piece of paper. Here's my granddaughter. I love this photo of her. She had only about 6 teeth at the time, and it was the funniest thing ever. And it was so nice to be able to include her that year, 2011, in the Week in a Life. And just different things. I took a picture of my daughter's eyelashes. They're not necessarily this long. She had what we called an eyelash weave. I've never heard of it until 2011. That's when that was done, my oldest daughter. And it was the craziest thing because it looked real. It was insane how the lady did that. It took her an hour to do it, half an hour for each eye. And she individually put each eyelash in there. And just, oh my gosh, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So then here's a big photo of my daughter starting the next day. So each big photo that you see is starting another day. So on here, so these are the things that I've done. This is driving home from work. You know, just different stuff. And then once again, the big pattern paper here. It doesn't have to be elaborate. This is another photo that I have taken. This was a Thursday. And so these are all the different things that went on. This is when I was with one of my local scrapbooking store kit companies, and I let my kits pile up because I got super busy. And then I took them from here to there and put them in the little containers. So I remember doing that. That was tedious, but so let's see. And then this photo was funny because I saw this little piece sitting on the floor and I almost stepped on it. And I didn't know what it was at first. It was a game piece to a Scooby-Doo game, my daughter's Scooby-Doo game. So I got on my stomach, went down and got zoomed in, and it was the weirdest thing ever. And then here's another picture of my daughter. She's making some of these lemon cakes for her class. So I took a photo of that. And this is funny because I took a photo of myself with the camera facing me with my face on the floor. And then I took a photo of the gas prices at that time, which was insane because I had had a 17-gallon tank of gas, a tank in my car, and I had an SUV, and this is how much I paid for gas in 2011 to fill it up. That was expensive. That was insane. It was almost $100. I mean, look at that. So these are the things that you look at, and I put, wow, look how much. Let me see if I can put this up. I put, wow, let's see, wow, Look how much I put in this tank and how the price does not reflect what I should be getting in gas. I remember when gas was $1.09 a gallon, but that is dating myself. Oh my gosh, it's just funny. And then you can see up here, this is, like I said, this is another part of my scrap room when I was starting to build up my cube collection, and I put them up high on my IKEA thing. So, like I said, it's just something to look back on. And then this Friday's when I took because I didn't work on Fridays, and I took my granddaughter, my grandson and my daughter to the miniature train town in Sonoma, which is right there by Napa. Wine country. Sonoma and Napa are wine countries, and here is so Sonoma Train Town Railroad Museum, and so that's when I took them there, and they had a ball there, so I got some of we rode on the train and everything. So these are the things that happened, and I saved some of the tickets. And so, and then Saturday was a relaxing day for me. I got my tea set out and just decided to sit down and relax, have a cup of tea. And then this is my car. It was actually brand new in 2011 is when we bought it, and that was what cost the $67 to fill up. I mean, good grief. So, but yeah, these are the things. And then this is another day. This is on a Sunday. So, yeah, and then these are all pictures that were in the templates. These are not, so this is printed on an 8.5 by 11. So, and then Sunday, so I started on, that's what I did. I started it on Monday and ended it on the Sunday this year. I didn't quite like that, so I won't be doing it that way again. I like to start my weeks out at the first day of the week because it almost confused me. So, but anyway, so that's it. And then this is me shopping, and then this is the end at 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. I took a picture of my bookshelves because I like to collect these editions here in the leather-bound books, and I took a picture of that. And this is before it got full, so I have 2 of these bookshelves now just packed full of books. So, and then this is me doing my favorite thing, shopping at Michael's. So, and that's it. And then this is my husband and me, and I decided to put the tripod up and do a timer and act like we were walking down the street, and I was saying goodbye because that's the end of my week in life. So pretty much that's it, you guys. So this year, Allie got the kits again, and then the 6x8 album. Like I said, these are older albums. I reflect on the older ones because they really showed how much fun I had. Last year was a little stressful for me, so I didn't finish the album. I mean, not last year. 2012, it was a little stressful for me, so I didn't finish the album. I didn't finish 2013, so I'm going to work on those. And so now it is 2017. Oh wait, actually no, I take that back. I did do the albums. I think I put them somewhere. I can't remember, but so you just kind of get the gist of it. So this year is 2017, and I'm going to be doing the same thing with the Week in the Life and with the kit that Allie has. So I'm going to, and I decided to go with the polka dotted album. I got it early enough to get the page dividers, which is going to help a lot. And I decided to go ahead and start getting this set up today so I can be ready for when the Week in the Life happens, which is next weekend. Yeah, next weekend. It starts for me on a Sunday. I'm going to be starting on the 16th. Allie's starting on the 17th because she starts her days out on Monday, but I start mine on the first day of the week to avoid myself being confused. That's just me. So I am on this venture. So if anybody have any questions or anything like that, let me know. I've been doing Week in the Life for so long that I don't realize how many people need the help or suggestions or anything like that. So hope you guys enjoyed that flip through, and I'll see you for the Week in the Life. Bye-bye.